There are places on Earth so strange that even scientists struggle to explain them. Hidden deep beneath oceans, buried inside deserts, or isolated at the ends of the world, these locations seem more like scenes from science fiction than reality. Some glow in the dark. Some kill within minutes. Others challenge everything we think we know about our planet. Tonight, we journey to the most extraordinary places ever discovered on Earth. And the deeper we go, the stranger it gets. Imagine standing on ground that burns from below, looking into a crater that has been on fire for decades, or discovering a lake capable of turning animals into stone-like figures. These are not myths. They are real places that exist right now on Earth. And while many have been studied for years, some still hold secrets that no one has fully solved. As this journey unfolds, each destination becomes more unbelievable than the last. Some were discovered by accident. Others remained hidden for centuries. Yet every one of them is real. And by the end of this video, you may find yourself wondering whether Earth is far stranger than we ever imagined. Mystery 1. The Door to Hell, Turkmenistan. In the middle of one of the most remote deserts on Earth, a giant crater has been burning continuously for more than 50 years. Flames rise from the ground day and night, creating a scene so surreal that locals call it the door to hell. But how did this inferno begin, and why has it never stopped? The door to hell is located in the Karakum Desert of Turkmenistan, one of the harshest environments in Central Asia. Surrounded by endless sand and extreme temperatures, the region sits atop vast reserves of natural gas. For decades, few outsiders ever visited this isolated part of the world. In 1971, Soviet geologists were exploring the area for natural gas deposits. During drilling operations, the ground beneath their equipment suddenly collapsed. What appeared was a massive cavern filled with methane gas, creating a dangerous environmental hazard. Fearing the release of toxic gases, engineers made a decision that seemed reasonable at the time. They ignited the methane, expecting the fire to burn out within a few days. Instead, the flames continued. Days became months. Months became years. Years became decades. As the years passed, the crater transformed into one of the most unusual landmarks on Earth. Travelers who reached the remote site described a roaring furnace visible from miles away. At night, the desert sky glowed orange from the endless fire. Photographs, satellite imagery, and scientific surveys confirm that the crater continues to burn today. Researchers have measured intense heat, constant methane emissions, and thousands of individual flames emerging from cracks throughout the crater floor. The most widely accepted explanation is that the crater sits above an enormous underground methane reservoir. As gas continues escaping through fractures beneath the desert, the fire receives a nearly constant supply of fuel, allowing it to burn year after year. The crater is approximately 230 feet across and more than 60 feet deep. Despite its hostile environment, scientists have discovered microorganisms capable of surviving near the intense heat, revealing how life can adapt to extreme conditions. Yet mysteries remain. No one knows exactly how much methane lies beneath the desert. Some experts believe the fire could eventually extinguish itself. Others suspect it may continue for decades to come. The true lifespan of the door to hell remains unknown. A crater that burns endlessly sounds impossible. Yet Earth holds places even stranger than a gateway of fire. Our next destination contains water so unusual that it can preserve creatures in a way that seems almost supernatural. Mystery 2. Lake Natron, the stone lake of Tanzania. At first glance, it looks beautiful. a shimmering lake glowing shades of red and orange beneath the African sun. But Lake Natron hides a reputation unlike any other body of water on Earth. Images from its shores have shocked the world, birds appearing frozen in death like stone statues. Lake Natron lies in northern Tanzania within the East African Rift Valley. Fed by mineral-rich hot springs and surrounded by volcanic terrain, the lake exists in one of the most geologically active regions on the planet. For centuries, local communities knew the lake was different. The water chemistry was unlike ordinary lakes, containing large amounts of sodium carbonate and other alkaline minerals carried from surrounding volcanic deposits. The lake gained worldwide attention after photographs revealed animals that appeared transformed into stone-like figures. The haunting images sparked rumors of a cursed lake capable of instantly petrifying anything that touched its waters. As photographers and researchers investigated further, the strange appearance of the preserved animals became one of the most widely discussed natural mysteries in Africa. The images circulated globally, fueling both fascination and fear. Scientific analysis revealed that the lake's waters can reach extreme alkalinity levels, sometimes approaching a pH similar to ammonia. The mineral-rich water can preserve dead animals, coating them with salts and creating their statue-like appearance. Contrary to popular myths, the lake does not instantly turn animals into stone. Instead, animals that die in or near the water may become naturally preserved by mineral deposits. The process creates an appearance that seems almost supernatural. Remarkably, while many species avoid the lake, millions of lesser flamingos depend on it. The harsh chemistry helps protect breeding colonies from predators, making Lake Natron one of the most important flamingo nesting sites in the world. Scientists continue studying how the lake's extreme chemistry interacts with wildlife and changing climate conditions. Could future environmental shifts transform this unique ecosystem? The long-term fate of Lake Natron remains uncertain. A lake that preserves creatures like statues is difficult to forget. Yet, somewhere beneath the ocean lies a place even more alien. A world where deadly underwater pools sit on the seafloor like lakes within the sea itself. Mystery 3. The underwater lakes of the Gulf of Mexico. Nearly 3,000 feet beneath the surface of the Gulf of Mexico lies something that should not exist. In complete darkness, scientists discovered lakes underwater. These strange pools have shorelines, waves, and even beaches. Yet any creature that enters them often dies within moments. Hidden in the depths of the ocean is a landscape so alien that researchers compare it to another planet. The Gulf of Mexico has long been known for its complex geology. Beneath its waters lie ancient salt deposits formed millions of years ago when prehistoric seas evaporated. Over time, these underground salt layers shaped one of the strangest environments ever discovered beneath Earth's oceans. For decades, no one knew these underwater lakes existed. The crushing pressure and extreme depths made exploration nearly impossible. Only with advanced, remotely operated vehicles and deep-sea submersibles were scientists finally able to investigate these hidden regions of the ocean floor. What researchers found was astonishing. Massive pools of ultra-salty water sat on the seafloor, completely separate from the surrounding ocean. The boundaries were so distinct that they resembled actual lakes. Waves rippled across their surfaces. Shorelines marked their edges. It looked like an impossible world hidden beneath another world. One of the most famous discoveries occurred at a site known as the Jacuzzi of Despair. Scientists observed dense brine flowing into a circular basin like an underwater waterfall. The pool's chemistry proved deadly to many marine animals, creating a natural trap at the bottom of the sea. Video recordings captured by research expeditions revealed fish and crustaceans struggling when they entered the toxic brine. Samples collected from the pools confirmed extreme salinity levels far greater than ordinary seawater, along with unusual concentrations of methane and other chemicals. Scientists believe these lakes form when underground salt deposits dissolve and release highly concentrated brine into the ocean. Because the brine is much denser than seawater, it settles into depressions on the seafloor instead of mixing with surrounding water, creating stable underwater lakes. Despite their deadly chemistry, some organisms thrive around these lakes. Specialized microbes feed on methane and chemicals escaping from the pools. Scientists believe studying these extremophiles may help explain how life could survive on distant worlds with hostile environments. Many mysteries remain. Researchers are still investigating how these ecosystems evolved and whether unknown species inhabit the deepest brine pools. Some scientists suspect entirely new biological processes may be occurring in these isolated underwater environments. Hidden lakes beneath the ocean seem impossible. Yet, our next destination may be even more unbelievable. Deep within a remote cave system lies a giant crystal chamber so extraordinary that it appears to belong in a fantasy world rather than on Earth. Mystery 4. The Cave of the Crystals, Mexico. More than 1,000 feet beneath a mountain in northern Mexico lies a hidden chamber unlike anything else on Earth. Inside, gigantic crystals stretch across the cave like frozen beams of light. Some are longer than a school bus, others weigh dozens of tons. It looks less like a natural cave and more like the interior of an alien cathedral carved from glass. The Cave of the Crystals is located beneath the Naka mine in Chihuahua, Mexico. For decades, miners worked deep underground searching for valuable metals. Few suspected that hidden behind solid rock was one of the most extraordinary geological wonders ever discovered. In the year 2000, miners excavating a new tunnel unexpectedly broke into a hidden chamber. What they saw left them speechless. Massive crystals filled the cavern from floor to ceiling, creating a landscape unlike any cave previously known to science. The crystals seemed impossible. Some measured more than 36 feet long and weighed over 50 tons. Scientists struggled to understand how such gigantic formations could grow in a confined underground space. Nothing comparable had ever been found anywhere else on Earth. Soon after the discovery, scientists from around the world traveled to Naka. Entering the cave proved extremely dangerous. Temperatures exceeded 130 degrees Fahrenheit, while humidity approached 100%. Without specialized cooling suits, a person could survive only minutes inside. Detailed measurements confirmed the extraordinary scale of the crystals. Geological studies showed they consisted primarily of gypsum, a relatively common mineral. Yet their size was unprecedented. The cave became one of the most important geological discoveries of the modern era. Researchers eventually uncovered the secret behind the crystals. For hundreds of thousands of years, mineral-rich groundwater remained at a remarkably stable temperature. These perfect conditions allowed gypsum crystals to grow incredibly slowly, molecule by molecule, eventually reaching gigantic proportions. Some researchers believe microorganisms may have remained trapped within the crystals for tens of thousands of years. Tiny life forms discovered inside crystal samples sparked excitement among scientists studying how life survives in extreme and isolated environments. Despite years of study, questions remain. Could even larger crystal chambers exist elsewhere beneath the Earth? Are there undiscovered caves still sealed behind rock, waiting to reveal geological wonders beyond anything humans have seen? A hidden cave filled with gigantic crystals feels almost impossible to believe. Yet, our next destination may be stranger still. On a remote island, trees grow in shapes so unusual that visitors often wonder whether natural forces alone could have created them. Mystery 5. The Crooked Forest. Poland. In a quiet forest in western Poland, hundreds of pine trees grow in a way that seems to defy nature itself. Each trunk bends sharply near the ground before curving back toward the sky. The shapes are so unusual that visitors often stop in disbelief. For nearly a century, no one has been able to fully explain why this forest looks the way it does. The Crooked Forest is located near the village of Nowe Sarnowo in western Poland. At first glance, it resembles an ordinary pine forest. But upon entering, visitors quickly notice something extraordinary. Around 400 trees share the same strange and highly specific curved shape. Most of these trees were planted during the early 1930s. They belong to the same species and grew under similar environmental conditions. Yet nearby forests contain perfectly straight trees. Whatever happened here appears to have affected only this specific group. The mystery lies not only in the curves themselves, but in their consistency. Nearly every tree bends in the same direction. The trunks form smooth arcs before growing vertically upward. Nature can produce unusual growth patterns, but rarely with such precision repeated hundreds of times. Over the decades, the forest attracted photographers, historians, and scientists from around the world. Numerous investigations attempted to uncover its origin. Yet no written records have ever been found explaining why the trees were intentionally shaped, or whether they were shaped at all. Careful examination shows that the bends occurred while the trees were still young. Growth rings and trunk structures suggest an external force altered their development. However, there is little evidence of disease, genetic mutation, or natural damage severe enough to explain the uniform pattern. One popular theory suggests local farmers deliberately bent the young trees to create curved timber for shipbuilding, furniture, or agricultural tools. Another proposes that heavy snow damaged the saplings. Yet neither explanation fully accounts for the remarkable consistency seen throughout the forest. Despite decades of attention, the Crooked Forest remains one of Europe's most photographed natural mysteries. The unusual trees have become a symbol of unanswered questions, attracting visitors who hope to experience one of nature's strangest landscapes in person. Who shaped these trees, if anyone did? Why were only a few hundred affected? And why was the technique never repeated elsewhere nearby? Nearly a century later, the forest continues to guard its secret, offering clues but never definitive answers. And with that, our journey through some of the strangest places ever discovered on Earth comes to an end. From burning craters and deadly lakes to hidden crystal worlds and forests filled with unanswered questions, each location reminds us that our planet is still full of mysteries waiting to be explored. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. If you enjoyed this journey, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and join us again as we uncover even more incredible secrets hidden across our world. Until next time, keep wondering.